Listen to Iron Maiden, baby, with me.
Welcome to Listen to Iron Maiden, baby. I'm Ash from South Wales.
I'm Ante from New South Wales.
We are back,
We are.
and I'm back
Yay.
in black.
Me too.
That's another
I'm
band,
kinda
Ante.
great.
Stop
Yay.
skipping over. I know you're Australian and all that bollocks.
Sorry, man.
You're
No,
okay.
you did it. Wait.
I did. I probably know more about AC/DC than you do because
Probably.
my dad is a freak for AC/DC.
That's right.
God, too much of that. But then, I like him now, but I still can't, get over those days of just constantly AC/DC. Any other CDs in there?
Nope.
Anyway, mate. All right, guys. So welcome to the podcast. So as we know before, this is about Iron Maiden,
Mhm.
just chilling and chatting. I'm a huge fan. Ante is
Hey, fan.
now a fan.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, he was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," and I've got him over the edge now. We've gone through Iron Maiden, Killers,
Mhm.
The Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, and of course,
Just finished off.
just finished Seven Son, Number Seven
Seventh
Son,
Son.
Seven Son, Number Seven Son.
Mm.
Just weird as well. It's like Moonchild. I didn't like it when I was younger, but now it's gone over. It's won me over.
Mhm, mhm.
Seven Son. I'm not a fan of the chorus, but it is quite fun to sing in it.
Right.
It
yeah,
is
come
weird,
on.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, my opinions are of, I wouldn't say general Iron Maiden fan because like one of my favorite songs is Only the Good Die Young, which is
Mhm.
apparently, people just don't even know it. Apparently, it's like, I think it's great. It's got everything in it.
Everyone can have their own favorites.
That bass solo is sick, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, you're probably listening to this on audio format,
Mhm.
which we'll try to keep things when we do go to video. It's a bit, sorry guys, we'll
Yeah.
try our best or whatever. But
Leave you out in the cold there.
yeah. It's for audio. It's this podcast started on audio, but then since Ante built this studio, and we thought we might do that. But at the same time, the podcast is on YouTube.
Mm.
But since we do play a lot of Maiden clips and a lot of things like that, we do get flagged. I mean, I think some of the YouTube episodes, like some parts are just ripped out of it,
Some of
like
them got
silent.
totally massacred, right?
yeah. Wait, guys, if you really want to see the full episode, I'm very sorry. I know it's not it's just the only option to keep it really accessible that people know how to get it, and also behind a bit of a paywall so that Maiden can't get us. Patreon.com. Listen, I Maiden Baby for $1 a month, and that gets you access to all the episodes. And then in the future, I'm going to upload more like bonus things, whatever, when we get more people.
Yep.
And and like I said, the YouTube episodes, please watch it on there too. I wish I wish it just put on YouTube.
I like how you mentioned that before. So Iron Maiden can't get us.
Pretty much, yeah. They are a bit flaggers, right?
Mm.
And well, just as we thought, we might as well thank the actual Patreon so far. So we've got Michael Ruiz, legend. We like you, Michael.
See?
He is a Patreon member. A new member. Okay, let me try to read this guy's name. I'm going to say it's Ayaz Siddiqui.
I'll go with that. Yeah.
Maybe that. Thank you for joining the Patreon.
Legend.
Yuha, is it Taper or Tapper?
Oh, it's a top. Yeah, actually, I got to ask him, actually.
Because he's from Finland, right?
Finland, yeah.
Cha cha cha, dun 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 dun.
I don't know.
Eurovision 2 years ago,
Oh.
Finland. It was amazing. This guy called Kaja or something.
Yeah.
And the song is called Cha Cha Cha. It's a banger. When I put it on, I'm just like cha 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 cha. It totally won as well. But everyone, when the presenter was talking, they were just shouting over cha cha cha, and she was getting really pissed off about it. It was amazing.
Also, Australia didn't win the Eurovision.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Australia's been like pushed into Eurovision Song Contest, whatever.
I don't get it, but
Yeah,
anyway.
I just watch it for tradition, whatever. But that song by the Finland guy, he's dressed in like this green like Hulk suit as well. It's fucking amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, like his arms are like green, but the song is really really good.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't speak Finnish. That's what man. Europe. If you're European, sing in your own language. They only sing in English because it's like it's more commercial. It's like guys, I want to hear those languages. So I
Do you
respect
think?
exactly.
I mean, like, how many people love Rammstein?
He does. He's got a Rammstein tattoo. The Finland guy.
Does he?
It's
there you go.
it's like Rammstein pop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
this
And I
is the guy.
remember it now.
Right,
Yeah,
that guy, right? Yeah. It's fucking awesome, right? Yeah, so I like Finland.
mm.
So yeah, is it Tapper or Taper, or is it like some random, totally, Finnish pronunciation?
Gonna have to ask him.
I'm not sure. We also have Oliver Debre. I didn't try to read this before. I know where my glasses. Let me check.
What's that? Debreceni?
Yeah, it's Debreceni. I think the C is silent,
C?
right? Oliver
Oh,
Debreceni.
yeah.
So if he's American, it's probably like they just skip out it, whatever.
Mhm.
If it was probably like Polish or whatever, he's probably like Debreceni,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But or Croatian like you.
Mhm.
Yeah, Oliver, thank you very much. And we also have Winged Moonlight, which is a great
Ooh.
one. Yeah.
Ooh.
We've just finished up talking about Seven Son of Seven Son.
Yeah.
And as we thought, well, since Paul Diano did pass away, Paul is a legend. We thought we'd go back and do a live album before we, move on with No Prayer for the Dying.
Why not?
Why not, right? And we got an email from a new fan.
Hey.
His name is Ian Stevens.
Ian Stevens.
The most boring name ever. Hello, I'm Ian. Ian Stevens.
You're in Australia, everyone be calling you Even Stevens.
Right, exactly. Do people call you Even Stevens? Ian? Even Stevens. Oh,
Tell
man.
us.
Even
It is,
Stevens
isn't
is definitely right, yeah?
Come on.
Ian Stevens.
Yeah.
All right, he said, so his email says, hey, guys. So I think he meant to say hey, but he spelt it with H-E-H. So is it like some new thing that people say? Hey, guys.
Hey.
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 Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Anyway, great podcast. Look forward to each new one. Yeah, we're trying to, at the moment, guys, in Japan, the end of the year is in like March.
That's right. Yeah.
The year starts in April. So, like I said, we are in Japan, by the way. And so a little bit busy at the moment and certain things and sickness and all that sort
We
of shit.
try and squeeze them out as much as we can.
Yeah, we are trying to our best, whatever. And I'm in the middle of like moving and stuff like that. So just hold on. From after April, we'll be churning them out. Churning.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, did you enjoy our like music video? By the way, it's kind of like it is a bit weird to ask Maiden fans, do you like the rap song that we did? Yeah. Anyway,
I liked it.
I loved it. I thought it was great. He said used to do a similar one for Slayer. Oh my god,
Oh,
Slayer. Right. Here's the thing with me and Slayer. Right, is that when I was in college, my lecturer liked Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
But he loved Slayer the most.
mm.
And his band were like metal band, really good. But like, I think he said that one time the singer wore a Slayer shirt.
Yeah.
And then a guy came to watch them, from a label.
Yeah.
And he was just like, sounds like Slayer. Don't wear the shirts,
Yeah.
So in my own band, I always told the other guys, never wear other band's shirts because just like, unless it's like completely, totally
really
random,
different.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like in my band, the guitar player Keita, he's like a typical Japanese rock guy. He always wears like Guns N' Roses, and I'm like, don't wear that, man, because people's gonna. I don't want to compare us to that, but it just gets into people's minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Advertising works, man. Slayer. So my thing with Slayer was he said AC/DC were boring because he was like he was like, wow. I was like, oh, okay, I get it, because he just doesn't like the blues thing.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing with rock is like if you're from a blues base, then AC/DC and things like that really, really get you. But then if you're into that like da 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 da, and Slayer got some cool riffs, man. And
Oh yeah, man. They got some,
I mean, they're really cool, but like dun, 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 evil sounding stuff, So he loved that kind of stuff, but I like them. And then I went to the Birmingham NEC.
Yep.
They have like a big music event where they sell off all the end of year, stuff, whatever, for like 50% off, whatever.
Yeah.
And we went there, and Kerry King was there.
That's serious.
Yeah, and I just bought a bass amp, like a bass combo, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sign it.
Why not, man?
Lifted onto the table, and he signed it. It was like an Ashdown one or whatever. And I remember thinking, he's pretty short, isn't he?
Yeah.
In my mind, Kerry King is like, massive,
Yeah,
right?
right,
But he's a really short guy, actually. Well, comparatively, anyway.
Hmm.
I was just surprised like that. Anyway, are you into Slayer? What are you into Slayer?
Back in the day, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I remember, was it my brother and my sister had was it Rain in Blood? Like the live album,
Oh.
like that was really big.
Oh,
That was
okay.
but same with you, like I'm not a massive fan of it, but some of their riffs are like killers.
Yeah, they're good. They're a great metal band, but like they're one of those bands. It's just fun to say in it. Say Slayer, Slayer. Like it's fun. What? And it's like if you said to you, "What band are you into?" I'm into AC/DC. Oh, Electricity. What band are you into? Slayer. I mean, slay is what you do to a dragon, right?
Mm.
Is there anything you can kill that's more monstrous than a dragon? I mean, a human doesn't count as a human, right?
Unless it's a multi-headed dragon,
But you would still slay it, right?
right?
So it's still slay. You can't get. What's the worst form of killing that's above slaying?
Mm.
Eradicate.
Eradicate.
But even that would be like a bunch of small things, right?
Right. Disembowel. That sounds like a death metal band.
Yeah. Slayer's just a sick name.
So, yeah. You get straight to the point.
I wonder what your podcast was about then. Was it like, were you like not, because I know people like Slayer fans are so arsey. Like,
How so?
you know, just like really like, oh, I only like the demo, which no one ever, they didn't even record.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. When I heard, the first time I ever heard Slayer was, when I was a kid, I'm from a small town. The only access to music I had was like Kerrang, the magazine. And their album at the time was called God Hates Us All. Yeah, and I was like, well, that's a strong title.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Cradle of Filth had a T-shirt which had just Jesus is a cunt on it. And I'm thinking, wow, man, these metal guys are really like, fuck you to the, the Lord and Savior.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
yeah, Jesus, man, Jesus is a friend of
Jesus.
mine.
Yes.
Call back.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I remember listening to the album and thinking, that's pretty good. But then when I asked someone, he was like, that's shit, that's not Slayer. I was like, okay, sorry, mate. You almost bit my hand off. Or I was like, all right, never mind. I won't mention it again. Anyway, he says, on the subject of posing, when it comes to favorite Maiden track, how does mine rate? So, okay, it's not really posing. I think he's trying to say like he's into deep cuts or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for context, I'm 49. Is that old?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
Oh, okay. He's older than us then. Hey! First Maiden exposure was Number of the Beast. What's the other name of that album?
666.
Say it in the Australian accent. Come on.
666.
There you go. When I was about 9 years old, I reckon. Like all Maiden albums, generally, with the exception of Killers, too bluesy, and the Blaze ones, too blazy. I love that, man. That made me laugh so much. Yeah.
I haven't gotten into those ones yet, but I like the
I
way
know what you mean, though.
yeah.
Killer. I agree with Killers. Like, it is. I wouldn't say it's too bluesy, but it's too like I don't know, just a bit. Besides Killers, which is an amazing song, but I know there's a lot of blues, like
yeah,
licks and things like that in there. I know what you mean. Killers for me is just not a smasher album,
no.
for me.
Yeah.
I like some songs, and that's it. But yeah, I agree with you there. But that's funny. Too bluesy, and the Blaze ones, too blazy. It's not too blazy. The Blaze albums are two Stevies getting divorced.
Well, that's a whole nother problem, right?
Yeah, it's not fair, right? Because listen, honestly,
that's what he said.
It's not fair. It's not fair, right? If Blaze had even sung on Fear of the Dark or No Prayer for the Dying, I think he would be thought of as, in a much better light because they're quite upbeat songs, man. It's not Blaze's fault that, okay, he joins Maiden. By the way, we're going to do these really depressing, slow songs, plodding. Do you know what plodding means? Let's do that for every song. After the war, I felt like suicide a few times or more. Like Blaze, he didn't have a chance with that album. If they flipped them as well, if like Virtual 11 came out first with like Future Real, that's a fucking cool riff, man. It's like,
I don't know that one yet.
and it's got some good songs in it, man. There's some good ones, but like, yeah, Blaze got mate, give him a
just
chance.
Bad timing,
man.
right?
Yeah, but like Steve was in a bad place, and that's what happened, And you got to respect the men at the same time because at least Steve's writing stuff about what's present to him. What's going on. But yeah, poor Blaze. Too Blaze. Man, I like Blaze when he's doing Blaze. So
he's singing this.
Yeah, it's sad, man. But he's got some good songs, man. All of my life, and it's at the time too when Steve is taking over production, kind of thing. And it's like, Steve, maybe give the faders to someone else or something for a little bit,
Get away from behind the desk.
Still a problem to this day, I would say.
Slap on the hand.
Steve, stop doing that.
Stop it.
Just bad production and like. That's another thing too is that Martin Birch retires on Fear of the Dark, I think, and after that it's Steve and some other guy. I think I don't know exactly, but some songs needed some editing or
Yeah.
someone to say that is shit, mate. Don't put that on there. Like, do you see that? What's that Metallica documentary?
Oh,
Some kind of
yeah,
monster,
yeah.
where his dad is like, delete that. It's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, because it's just a bunch of Metallica just trying to be change it up, a little
Yeah,
bit, and it's just
yeah.
too, whatever.
No.
Favorite Maiden albums are undoubtedly Somewhere in Time and Seventh Son. Yeah, so good.
Mhm.
So my track, it's Ghost of the Navigator, track 2 of Brave New World, completely out of the, not related at all. Can't get that info's for Ante. See, for you.
Mm.
See, he's doing a few. See,
Thank
it's
you.
Ghost of the Navigator, track 2, Brave New World.
Mhm.
That info's for you. Okay. Not a well-known track, but also not really a deep cut. So where does that chart on the hipster scale? All right. Well, first off,
It's interesting. Yeah.
Brave New World is not a hipster album because that's the album when they got back together. So tons of people hear that album.
Mm.
Tons of people hear this song, and they play it on the Rock and Rio live as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that deep of a cut, but Ghost of the Navigator is an amazing song. And just for Ante's, give him a little tease. Do you want to listen to it?
Please.
Because I love this song. Okay, so one thing about this song is that I like that melody, but Bruce does sing that melody too. Where I go, I do not know, but it is a good.
It works. I really like that. That's chord.
Mate, this album is so good. We're saving this juicy one, right? We're gonna go through the 90s stuff.
Mm.
Then we're gonna go through blazy stuff.
Mhm.
Too blazy. Then we're gonna hit with this. What's gonna happen, right, is you're gonna feel this like it's not disappointing now in the 90s, but like
Mhm.
stuff where you're like, it could be better. It's not that great. And then you get hit with this shit and it's like, yes, Bruce is back. Now I take my final journey. Okay, then like the chorus. And I know, take my heart and set it free. Oh yes, very forward from the waves. Dream we're left to go, never stay the so. Yeah, that riff. Like with the beat behind it too, it's sick, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in for a fucking treat, my friend.
Fucking oath.
You're gonna
Looking
love
forward
it.
to that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to forget about it.
I know. You will forget about it because it's when it creeps up on you, you're like, oh man,
Like,
that album is
aha!
incredible. Yeah. But it's also the start of like that's a great riff, right?
Yeah.
But they add in the clean intro stuff, whatever, which is fine, but don't do it on every fucking song, lads, Dream of Mirrors before. Terrible intro. But then the meat of the song is classic
Yeah,
and really,
yeah.
really good.
Mhm.
But on this album, I don't mind it. But then when they keep repeating it over and over, you're like, oh, okay, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
I
not
get
do an intro for every fucking song. Just crack into it. Wicker Man. Oh man, I was not actually into the band at the time when they got back together.
Yeah.
But I must have blown people's minds, right? To like after Blaze, and then comes back with the Wicker Man, and it's Adrian
Yeah.
in like a
yeah.
denim outfit, and he's going this riff called. It's an Adrian song, and it's like, fucking yes, man. The euphoria that people must have been feeling at that time was must be incredible, man. I wish I was like into the band at the time, but I was a bit young. Mate, Ghost and Navigator is a sick song. I love it. But it's not really.
What I heard, man, I'm pretty much sold on that one.
Yeah. But it's not too hipster, because it's on a live album, and it's on a live album. Like if you're gonna be hipster, you got to be like hipster Maiden. It's got to be. I like one of the new ones, like talking like favorite songs. One of the new stuff, or like I don't know, like maybe like the bootleg version of bloody whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like you're saying, the demo that was never recorded.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No. That's a great song. That's a great song. But thank you for the email.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Even Stevens.
Hey.
Yeah, please consider joining the Patreon if you would like to, contact us even further. This album, right, we're doing today is Made in Japan,
Yep.
which is, of course, basically the end of Paul Di'Anno. They came to Japan, recorded
The
a
end
gig.
of him.
Yeah, it is, you know. In Nagoya, 1981. They did a full concert. Of course, Nagoya is, you know, in what we live in Hiroshima.
Mhm.
Where it's not.
It's Toyota Town.
That's right. It's not a massive trek, but it's decently far away
far
from
enough,
us. Yeah,
yeah.
And yeah, so let's go first off to the the old classic Maiden commentary, because you know this bloody website is fantastic. As we can see, before we start, Maiden Japan, 14 September 1981. The track list, depending on if you're European or Japanese. Running free. Remember Tomorrow.
Mhm.
Killers, and Innocent Exile.
Mm.
4 tracks. And here's the album cover, which is not the original.
Right.
This is the blown up version from Derek Riggs' website.
Mhm.
This was the second version of this cover, and it's the best I could come up with at short notice. The first version was done.
Just whipped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just whip this up. I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's pretty good.
It is,
isn't
but
yeah.
it's effective.
Yeah. I mean, it just looks awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I love it. Made in Japan in the whole chopsticks, bloody font, whatever. So it's got Derek's mark there too. It's a good cover. I think it's really good. I like the cover. But the original was, let's say, this was the first version of Made in Japan. They said they were doing a live single in Japan, and to my mind, this was the obvious picture. But the band were interviewing other singers in secret. And Paul had worked out that something was afoot. Was getting a bit twitchy. When the band manager saw this, he freaked out and had all the printed covers burned, 250,000 of them, and hid the original. Then he had me paint another cover for it. I was completely unaware of any of the band politics until the manager told me about it a few weeks later. Luckily, it seems a few covers got away before the fire. For years, I thought this picture was long lost. I Am Maiden, here we are, and it's Paul's head, which is being decapitated, and his body with the jacket and the axe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
really that after finding out the politics and you've done that, it's a bit like,
it's a weird thing. That sometimes happens though, doesn't it? Like you do something and then not understanding that you know it actually gonna happen.
Mind's eye.
Yeah, I mean,
they didn't chop his head off, but
no, they didn't. No, I think I like the other cover though. This one's a bit.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I mean, there's no sword in it, right? Unless it's on the floor. It's an axe. I mean, that's not Japan, is it? Axe. I mean, unless it's the axe gang from Kill Bill or whatever.
That's right.
But this is not that time. This is way before that. Yeah, the other one's much better. Made in Japan was recorded on Iron Maiden's first Japanese tour and was released as an EP with the American version containing Wrathchild as a bonus track. Yeah, so I've always heard the music either on like CD or, you know, way after the fact. I've always heard the American boot version with Wrathchild on it, but it didn't have that on the original. 43 in the UK charts. Apparently, there's no easy way to translate the pun "Made in Japan" into Japanese. So the Japanese version of the EP was instead entitled "Heavy Metal Army." So here we go. Iron Maiden's the Japanese version, Heavy Metal Army. I mean, that's just right. The reason why I think that is because Kiss's fan club is called Kiss Army, I think.
Oh, okay.
I believe so. So it just makes, you know, they know that word army. I think in Japan, it's like they adopt a word and then it, you know, becomes, they know it's associated with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it does help sometimes. But like, you know, living in Japan and learning Japanese, you'll hear like a random word. We're like, oh, you say that? You know that word?
Yeah.
And my favorite one is like tension.
That's right. Yeah.
Because it means totally something different here. It's more like positive, but for me, tension is like negative, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, tension. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm like, oh, sorry.
that's
that's
bad.
bad. They're like, no, it's good.
No.
Really, really. But like, you know, they adopt words and whatever. So they know army is the easy word. But and this is the random Venezuelan cover sleeve of Made in Japan. I guess they made a mistake or something when they printed it in Venezuela.
Because they got the head.
Yeah. See, an extremely rare Venezuelan pressing of the EP actually shows the original one. So yeah, that is worth a pretty penny, I think.
I'll say.
So before we get into listen to the actual album, mate. So I've actually been doing a couple of bands in Japan for like 10 years. around that time, and you've been DJing.
Mhm.
I mean, can you talk about the venues here in terms of like, places to play compared to like back home?
I think it really comes down. The big thing is size.
Okay.
You know, very small,
Yeah. Okay.
quite cramped, which
Mm.
is really good when you don't have that many people come, because you can have like half the place and it feels full.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Very smoky,
Yeah. Smoky. Yeah. Sure.
right?
Sure. Sure.
And the place that I DJ most of the time, it's probably the smokiest bar in Hiroshima, I would say.
Okay. What's the bar name?
That one's Sea Cake style.
Okay. If you're ever in Hiroshima and want to see Ante DJing, check out that bar.
Yeah, it's actually a good bar. Like I said, very smoky. Yeah.
What do you think about like the equipment though, and like the audio and the stuff like
See,
that?
at the end, that can be hit and miss depending on really it comes down, because we're talking small venues.
Yeah.
The owner, are they really into their music?
Got it. Got it. Got it.
So I find the ones that, yeah, if you know the owners and they love their music, their sound is pretty good.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. My experience from coming from the UK,
Mm.
where I would play like pub floors.
Yeah.
Very rarely did I play. I played in like hardcore bands, things like that. That I play like an actual stage venue a few times, but like, and like the PA and things like that, whatever.
Yeah.
When I came here, I was so blown away by the professional. Like my first place I played was this place called Badlands,
Mm.
and it was in Hakushima.
Yeah.
And it was like in the basement of an apartment.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this couple are just like playing like playing music.
Mm.
They just turned the basement into a live house.
Yeah.
And it was a small one, but it had like a full on stage, backstage
Mhm.
with a curtain that came down, smoke machine, a full backline of
Yeah,
a Roland jazz chorus amp, and then a Marshall.
Yeah.
These amps that you could really good at, like just plugging your pedal board into and getting sound whatever. Backline drums, all sound,
Nice.
and I was like, this is like and there were a lot of kids there that were playing music and stuff, and I was like, you lucky.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
What a great experience. It was
Yeah,
amazing. And then
yeah.
when we started graduating up to like bigger venues,
Mm.
like there's a place in here called 414,
Mhm.
which actually I'm playing a gig there next month now because
Mhm.
my band is finished because the guys left Japan.
Yep.
But they're coming back. So he's like,
You guys gonna?
yeah, he's like, instead of like doing instead of just going to the pub, why don't we just play a gig? And I was like, okay, I gotta relearn all the songs though.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But yeah, the guys are into it, so it's fine. But like
Mhm.
we're playing 414, which is an amazing venue, and so man, it's just like just great. The guy, everything now is all digital desk and things like that.
Mm.
Just hold on the iPad, mixing, and you get your personal monitors and they
Yeah.
record everything. It's just really, it's from what I was used to, it's just
Mhm, mhm.
incredible that we've played. Even like we've played, we've gone to Yamaguchi and things like that, and it's
Yeah.
like just amazing. Like the live houses are
Well,
really, really good.
People that are really into it, like
Yeah.
they go that extra mile. Man.
Yeah, and because they do the whole quota thing here too, right?
Mm.
So if you're a band, sell 10 tickets,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
that's how it's. I know it's shit to like have to sell tickets, but that's how these things stay open, and it
That's
makes it
true, man. Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
And like I didn't. I would just like listen, buy a ticket. You don't have to come, just buy the ticket.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and because as a hobby too, like
Mm.
it sucks to be asking people to do that, because like I never wanted to do a band really to play gigs. I just wanted to record music, but if you're gonna do it, might as well do it. But yeah, Japan, even this concert, right?
Mm,
They
mm.
recorded the concert. I'm not sure if they recorded the concert with their own gear, or were they using the Japanese venues gear.
Right.
If anyone knows that, I'd be interested in it, because
Mm.
everyone knows that Japan, Roland and Pan, all these amazing companies that are
Pretty
audio
big with
based.
the music stuff. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So Paul is on his way out, right?
Mm.
Because a few reasons was because like he was kind of like missing shows, and his
Mm.
voice was a bit like croaky or whatever.
Yeah.
So in the UK, Paul is fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, Italy. There's only one in Berlin where they cancelled due to poor ticket sales.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one in the Netherlands cancelled due to poor ticket sales. All right, here we go. Now from 4th of May 1981, they have cancelled a ton of shows.
Oh yeah.
Germany, 3 German dates, Sweden and Norway and Denmark.
Mhm.
Possibly due to Paul's voice, I guess.
Yep.
And then they come to Japan. So I'm guessing that they were already like, fuck. I'm guessing the last tour as well.
Mm,
Like I said, guys, being Paul, we joke about Paul saying being trained, whatever.
yeah.
But there is something to actually, as a singer, really taking care of your voice and,
Yeah.
not doing the shit, whatever. Like, so it's not easy to do that at all. But if you're a guy that's against being trained,
Yes.
you're going to find it much harder to do.
I was just watching the other day. Was another pod. Obviously a very big pod. They had Danny Carey from Tool
Oh,
talking
okay,
about
yeah.
the live stuff, and he just mentioned it. He goes, with the singer, when your instrument is your body,
Yeah.
it's just a whole different. And that's him talking as a drummer. He goes, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
can warm up and get into the groove, but
Yeah. And a lot of like guitar and drums come like muscle memory plays a lot into it,
yeah,
whatever, once you practice enough. But with a singer, it's like
mm,
you're that's why singers get a lot of respect and a lot of the thing, because they deserve it, really, because like,
Yeah.
they're the ones that are out there singing them, doing the main part which people lock onto. But also it's fucking it's not easy to do, man, every night, is it?
no, definitely not."
This is on YouTube Music, and yeah. Right, I would argue that listening to that, which do you prefer? The one that's more like, fuck it, just record it and then I'll leave that out, or
Yeah.
the the quite remastered, made for the car kind of thing?
I mean, this is nice.
Yeah.
But the other one is really like when it's like this live 1981.
Yes.
It really sounds like it's got that grit there, and gotta say, I like the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a thing about like just listening to like a live, especially rock music, live
Mm,
concerts capture really well. It's hard to beat the energy as well
Yeah,
that's coming out of
yeah.
the speakers and things like that. It's just very hard to do.
I'm not putting this one down the ring. Like,
No.
it's tidied up.
Mm,
It's nice.
yeah, but yeah, it's great. I mean, this is Running Free, man. Paul sounds great. It's fast. Playing fast is fine.
Say, definitely live tempo.
Yeah, but they do get ridiculous in the future. And we listen to,
Yeah.
well, we're going to listen to in the future as well, like some of the live performances around Seventh Son of Seventh Son, where Adrian is like, fuck, I'm out of here. This is way too fast.
Yeah.
Running Free is a simple song,
Mm,
and it's fine to speed it up a bit. But when you're doing like Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, man, you got to play the song as close to the original tempo as you can, because it's,
Yeah.
how's he going to sing it?
Exactly.
Selfish. Okay, here's the thing as well about this album is that I don't really listen to this very much, okay? And the reason why is because during this time of recording the songs, they're basically recording it live anyway. It's not like now where like you go and record, everything's so
Mhm.
processed, and like, the live performance and the real one is so night and day that bands are forced to use backing tracks to support,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with it, but when I listen to this, it just sounds to me like the CD, like the actual
That's
version.
exactly what they were
Do you know
doing.
what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I listen to the one on the record, it just feels like, oh, it's live. It feels live anyway, which it pretty much was.
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of money to record it. This is from the first album, which is, but it just sounds a bit better, the guitars, 'cause
Yeah.
it's more whatever. But like when I don't have anything special to say, because it's just like, sounds like,
That's what it
Maiden.
is.
Yeah,
man.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It just sounds like the CD, right? Or the album,
Yeah.
Just a bit faster.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. So yeah, it's like,
It's pretty quick, brother.
Still killing it though.
Mm,
It
mm.
sounds good. Yeah. I mean, what do you expect? It just sounds like them.
Yeah, yeah.
Paul's good. Everyone's good.
Mm.
Fantastic. Now the next song is a bit interesting because it's "Remember Tomorrow,"
Yeah.
which is, I believe, they took this recording, chucked off Paul's vocal,
Mm.
and then Bruce did a version of it
That's right. Yeah.
as like something to release out.
Mm.
But he had to kind of like copy his like, come on.
That's right.
So it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
funny. Yeah.
We're gonna slide down a little bit now. This is a song from the first Iron Maiden album. This is one I want to hear you clapping along to. It's a song called Remember Tomorrow.
This version is fucking good, baby. Oh, real motherfucking G's.
Come on, sit in hand, come on.
See that part? Right? Come on, Bruce is like, hey, come on. You know, whatever, yeah. It's great. It's great. It's great. Yeah. It just sounds like the CD. What do you call it? Because like people all say the record, but like my generation is not records. So like when I'm like, oh, we're making a new record, I never say that. I'm like, we're making a new album or a new CD. I say CD because that's what my generation is.
Yeah.
What do you go to?
Yeah, yeah.
CD, right? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, they played so good. Sounded like the CD.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. I always go CD. I feel silly sometimes.
Tomorrow's my life. Scatter horizon.
Mm. What can you say?
Just sounds good, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's just good.
It's like it just sounds like the album, you know.
Mm.
So I listened to this so many times, and like I said, as a review of it, it's hard to review because like just a bit faster than
Just a
the
bit,
normal
yeah.
one, and a bit like more balls.
Mm.
'Cause that's the thing with the first album, the guitars were not that heavy sounding, so. Sounds good, doesn't it? I mean, if anyone wants to say it's something like, right, let me break down Remember Tomorrow from Maiden Japan. You can't.
Stop it.
It just sounds like the album, but just with the heavier guitars and just sounds good. Paul's even hitting the high notes.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Sounds very good. Let's move on to Killers.
Mm.
We'll skip Wrathchild because that was on the fucking American one or the international one.
Mm.
We live in Japan, so we're practically that.
Keeping it
Japanese.
real.
Your kid is Japanese.
Yeah.
Your wife is Japanese.
Mm.
So your kid will only listen to the 4-track version, not
Exactly.
the 5 one.
Sorry, Wrathchild. It's a good song, but can't.
It is hard to skip Wrathchild, though, isn't it?
Mm.
But we're skipping over to Killers, which we like even more, I think.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be honest though, I prefer the album version because it's got that just the bass
Yeah.
clean or whatever more than this one. It's too fast. It's a sexy song. It's gotta be. Oh.
Yay.
Okay, I love those ad libs. Like, hey, come on! But those ad libs got ruined for me about 5 years ago when this YouTuber guy started doing this thing called shreds. Have you seen them?
No.
So basically, like, let's say, like, Iron Maiden shreds. So when I think of shred as a guitar player, you think like playing, you know, fast.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
No, basically, it's like he'll take like a live performance and then he'll re-record it to match the voice, but like very badly.
Oh,
And
okay.
he did this one with One Direction, and I cracked me up so much. I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
Because on the live performance, it's that song "Story of My Life," the story of my life, it take me home. And this part where he goes, come, he's like, he's trying to pump up the crowd.
Yeah.
And he goes, come on. All right,
Yeah.
let me just play this here. Right? It's one of my
I
favorite
want
things
to.
ever. Right? Okay, it's hilarious.
Some of the stories that I can't explain.
Like, to be fair, right, he's done a great job matching the vocals, whatever. But let
Yeah.
me just get to that point, right?
She told me in the morning she don't feel the same about her in her bones.
It's like so stupid. He does different voices for all the guys too, right?
Yeah.
But right. All right, let's get it. Okay, here we go. This is cracks me every time, right?
The story of my life, I take her home. I drive all night to keep her warm.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Come on. So whenever I hear these like ad libs now in any song, I always think of that guy doing that. Come on, come on. Hey guys, hey buddy, let's go. Oh. Man,
I'm expecting a shred to happen.
right? Oh man, wait. Let's check if there is actually an Iron Maiden shred. Okay.
This is wrong. It's like a high school band learning.
Sounds like a high school band.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what the rock shreds are. It's more of the guitar.
Mm.
So yeah, it's quite funny. Oh yeah, it does sound like the comment here. It sounds like the Guitar Hero version where they miss half the notes. That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Guitar Hero version is like. Yeah, it's so fucking true, man. It's so true. Anyway, yeah, no shreds. This is the real deal. Man, this song's so good. Just sounds great.
Yep. Love it.
Man, I really want to get into No Prayer for the Dying.
Mm.
And this is not really a review podcast. We just listen to Iron Maiden and
Yeah.
you hang out with us and we talk about it.
Mm.
But that's the thing. I'm not a big fan of these early the Paul live albums because they just sound like the
That's just what they were doing. That's
exactly. There's not a lot of it's just they just literally take this to the studio and then recorded it. Chuck a mic in front of them and record that.
Yeah.
So it just sounds so. That's why. But also, that's why it is. I can imagine why people like listen to
Says
these.
a lot about the bands back then, though. You actually had to be good.
Yeah. And listen to this. It just sounds like the bloody record. This is from Killers, though, which is just polished. That's all. Paul just sounds like the album.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Mm.
Let's move on. Innocent Exile. Okay. Another little, not a deep cut, but a little bit not as well known. Alright, mate.
This is a song also for the Killers album. This is one all about somebody who's been wrongly accused of doing something.
Have you ever been wrongly accused of doing something?
Always, every day. I'm married.
You bloody didn't do this. You bloody didn't do that.
Oh, I did.
You did.
Oh,
Okay.
Did I?
So you're not innocent.
Am I?
I've only got like a few things where like it's not that I didn't do it, but I don't remember doing it. But maybe I did do it, and I just don't know. Like
so yeah, you still
like
oh shit.
yeah,
did
like I mentioned before, like I remember saying Saving Private Ryan, but
Right.
my friend said you said Saving Private Reynolds, and I'm like, no, I did not. But did I? Maybe because I realized that
Because you were talking about the sequel.
no, I wasn't.
That was never filmed.
Because I remember talking about it because I went to see Liverpool, which is the football team that I support, which are going to be champions this year. Very happy. And we went up on the coach to watch them,
Mm.
and I was like 8. And on the bus, they had a film on, which was Saving Private Ryan.
Mm.
And my 8-year-old brain was watching the opening scene and just like,
Getting
yeah.
yeah.
You know, you have no idea the effect that had on me. I was like,
Mm.
whoa, the guy's leg got blown off, and it kind of messed me up a little
Yeah,
bit.
probably could.
And when I went back to school, I was like, I watched this film called Saving Private Ryan. It's Saving Private Ryan, not Reynolds. I didn't say Reynolds. But then, did I say that? I can't remember that.
Mm.
I can't remember the actual conversation, but I remember being accused of not saying that. So, am I innocent? I don't know.
Innocent.
Because if I asked the guys that I was with then, they probably don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I remember it because I was accused of doing something I
Yeah.
didn't do.
You're scarred.
Yeah. It's like those guys that spent like 20 years in prison for something they didn't do.
Uh,
And they're like, oh, we checked the DNA and it wasn't you.
sorry.
Here's $20 million. But like,
Hang on.
still rough, wasn't it?
Mm.
Anyway, Innocent Exile.
This is a song called Innocent Exile. It's so empty, nothing to live for.
There's some groovy blues.
Mm.
Mind is on confusion, satisfied the law. You were meant to have me.
Is Paul just like in a like, I gotta save my job here?
Right.
Do you think? Is he like,
Sound
he sounds
good,
really,
man.
really good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's overblown because like, if you check the dates, there was only like, there's a big chunk, like 5
Yeah,
days that he
yeah,
missed,
yeah.
whatever. But I'm not, he did everything. But I have seen like stuff where like he's sitting down
Mm.
and, you know, Steve is singing little parts, whatever, and he's taking a break. But that's because he's not trained and he's trying to, you know, overstraining his voice, whatever. So
Yeah.
I think that's what it's not that he missed the show. It's probably like in the middle of the show, he's like sitting down and
Mm.
or doing whatever, so whatever. But he sounds great here.
That's why I'm a new man. Never had no trouble before they saw me.
By the way, guys, I'm trying to like skip through the song and things like that because it just makes it easier for us to keep the episodes on YouTube.
Mm.
Like I said, in the future, if we have more people on Patreon, you can just ask us to listen to a song and you know, we'll do
Yeah,
one song at a time, whatever. But in the interest of like keeping the podcast available to as many people as possible,
Mhm.
Yeah, we can
We
do
can't just let it ride through.
that. Yeah, so anyway. I like blues, right? So that's a bluesy part, but it's not really Maiden-y, right?
Yeah.
Quite weird, isn't it, to hear that from the Maiden that we know.
Mm.
Doom, doom, ba-da-doom, doom, ba-da-doom, doom, ba-da-boom, boom, ba-doom. It's fucking cool, though. Wow, are those screaming Japanese fans?
Mm.
I remember this woman telling me that when she went to see a Japanese woman, she went to see David Bowie.
Yeah.
They told them, don't scream and don't put your hands up. So like there was guards walking around making sure the women weren't screaming and things like that.
All right.
It's David Bowie, for
Wow.
God's sake. Let him, you know, let it out.
I'll be screaming.
Right? Me too, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's your favorite David Bowie song?
Ooh. I love Golden Years.
Oh, that's pretty good, yeah. See, I go back and forth between Space Oddity, just because it's just,
yeah.
you know, 'cause
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just fun to sing and go along with,
Mhm.
and China Girl. But at the same
Yeah,
time, I
yeah.
always go, it just feels weird saying China Girl with my China Girl.
Mhm.
Because I was going to say, with my Chinaman.
It's pretty bad. The
Chinaman.
film clip too. Have you seen it? It's like,
Yeah, the video's weird, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, she's just like,
Is there a part where he literally grabs his eyes and
I
makes
think so.
them- yeah.
I think so.
Mm.
But with my China Girl.
And I love Labyrinth, except for his tights. Scarred a lot of children.
Yeah.
Mm.
Labyrinth. That's a good film. Better than Dune.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just finish this off a little bit.
Mm.
Guys, it's awesome. Oh, great. Dave Murray's playing a cool solo. Wicked. all right, it's fucking man, this is great.
Yeah.
Right, Made in Japan is just a great live capture of the band at the time, where they are playing very raw, very. It's much easier to capture the sound, like close to the album, So,
Mm.
and luckily, Maiden sound fucking awesome when they're live. That's their bread and butter, always
Yep.
has been. And yeah, so these early things are really good. But for me personally, because I grew up with I heard the album version first.
Mm.
I don't see a big massive difference where I
Yep,
would want to
yep.
listen. Whereas different, well, for example, I love listening to Rock in Rio live album
Mhm.
because it's a lot of the Brave New World songs
Yeah.
and and like the Trooper and things like that. But they sound
mm.
so different.
Yeah.
And more power, more whatever,
Mm.
just different, So for me, it's worth listening to them. Whereas this album is just more. It just sounds like too much like the record, which is not a
Yeah,
bad thing.
yeah.
But like I said, I don't go out my way to listen to it. But it's not like most of the time it's pulled off streaming as well. Usually, it's not actually on. It's on YouTube Music, but
Yeah.
I use Apple Music mostly,
Mm.
and it's not on there. So it's not in the playlist. But I guess I could like rip it myself, but it's not worth it because the record version for me sounds quite similar
Yeah.
anyway, and Paul sounds great too, and it's not worth it. But anyway, awesome. But for you and listening back to Paul again, do you enjoy listening back to Paul?
Yeah, man. So it's like, oh, this takes me back, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, yeah. For you, it's like, oh yeah, back in remember those days,
And it really
Paul?
reminds me again just how different animals, when we're talking about like Paul. And Bruce,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And it's not. It's the same as like. It's not really better. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's different, man. Yeah.
But it's better for the band in terms of
Mm.
like Bruce is more professional.
Yeah.
The band always complimenting how like he could just do it every night.
You can listen to it and like it makes you understand why you have those people that are like, oh, I only like the first two albums.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
It's that different that maybe that's your style. That's
Yeah.
what you really like.
Yeah, you can't blame people for being like, yeah, the first albums are the best, and guess what? They're really amazing albums.
Yeah.
And they sound great. Paul sounds great,
Mhm.
and it is quite a big jump to the Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
So, you can't really. That's what Maiden exist in these like chunks.
Yeah.
You got the first albums, guys, Killers, guys.
Mm.
Then you've got like the, that classic run area of Run to the Hills to somewhere to Seventh Son.
Yeah.
And then you've got the weird 90s era. And you got the reunion era,
Mhm.
like peak era where they were massive again, which is like Brave New World, Dance of Death, and then a little bit of A Matter of Life and Death. And after that, then they released the 3 albums, which are people are like, all right, Maiden, do whatever you want to do now. And that's what they did. There's chunks of the band, so it's very cool.
Mm.
But yeah, great album. And yeah, mate. So once again, we live in Japan, but it's weird because like we live in Hiroshima and not a lot of live bands come here.
Yeah,
So I
we
don't-
always get skipped over.
Yeah. So I don't really have much live experience to talk about, only with my own band.
Mm.
And that was really fun. I've loved playing gigs in Japan because it's like you're like on a real stage with like
Yeah.
real sound and monitors, and like I switched to digital a long time ago.
Mm.
And I just turn up with my effectively just a pedal board, which
Yeah.
is everything's there, and I'll plug into the guy's there with the cable. Okay, just plugs the XLR onto the cable, goes straight to the front of the house to the monitors. And
Easy.
yeah, and then what I would do then is just like I would like put another cable out of it into the stage amp,
Yeah.
because just for some sound on the
Mm,
stage. But it's like so easy, sounds great, and so much fun. It was great.
Mhm.
And it's funny too, right? Is that Japan is a safe country, generally, and like when I was in bands in the UK, the fear of things being stolen was so big. I would never leave anything on my side for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Mhm.
So here we put all the stuff in the back room, and
Yeah.
all the band stuff would be in the back, like like in areas, whatever, and everyone just leaves
Yeah.
and just
yeah.
buggers off, and all the support band, all the other bands, whatever, there, and they just all leave, and I'm like, fuck all this, they just leave the gear there, and I find it really hard to do that.
It's like-
Yeah.
But it just shows there's a very big trust system here.
Yeah, I just
and,
couldn't do it. I'm like, I can't do it, man. I can't.
Mm,
I could keep everything within my eye range, whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so I hate playing live gigs. I'm just like, oh, I don't
That's
guess
that thing because we grew up outside of Japan
Yep.
coming in, which is why when I've got Japanese friends going overseas for the first time, I
Yeah.
always tell them, watch yourself. It's
Yeah.
not Japan.
Yeah. Don't be just walking out.
Don't
to
leave
people
shit
going,
around. Or,
Hey, buddy,
hey.
what's up? Can I practice English with you? You what, mate? You know, it's not like that, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, Japan's a great place to live, great place to record an EP, I Maiden. And the name Made in Japan as well is kind of fun, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Made in Japan, Made in Taiwan, and
Mm.
then Deep Purple did the Made in Japan album,
Mhm.
and then they did a pun, Made in Japan. I mean, you know, it's
Yeah.
typical Made. They love puns and jokes and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, whatever. Anyway, guys, so yeah, please email us at listentoimadenbaby@gmail.com.
A big thanks to all the Patreons again.
That's right, the Patreons, which we named at the beginning.
Nice.
Thank you very much. And listen to us on everything. Audio, YouTube, and Patreon if you want to get the full stuff. And next week, guys, I don't know. So it's not that I'm busy, but I think next week is okay. We can do a podcast. But no prayer. Now I really want to get to Brave New World, you know,
Yeah.
for you to listen to that, you know. So maybe we'll
Cool.
start No Prayer for the Dying, possibly.
Yeah.
But like I said, I like to prepare a bunch of stuff ready,
Mhm.
and I'm just a little bit busy to say I can do that right now. So if I don't get that sorted, we'll do like maybe just, I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll just I'll think of something we can do this weekend, you know.
Yeah.
But maybe some B-sides. Maybe some let's go to
Yeah.
the B-sides. Yeah, let's do the B-sides because
All right.
that'd be good to do some stuff that we haven't covered yet, you know.
mm.
So yeah, let's do a B-sides episode.
Yep.
Then we'll go back to start No Prayer for the Dying, you know.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Sounds good.
sounds very good. All right,
Thanks.
guys. Catch you next time.
Take it easy, guys.